Okay, next up we have Samuel Adams Boston Lager. So this is from the Boston Beer Company, and their line of beers are the Samuel Adams beers, named after the famous patriot from the American Revolution, Samuel Adams, who was also a brewer. They pretty much really kick-started craft and microbrewing in the U.S. after years and years of domination by big companies like Anheuser-Busch and Pabst, Miller, etc., etc. Right? All the big macro lager companies. Sam Adams is probably the premier, at least the most well-known. Still, I guess you could still consider him a craft brewer. More of a regional brewery now, I guess, than just like a strictly small craft brew type of deal. But they have a big lineup of beers. This is the only one we get. Just came back into my store, shelves of my store after, geez, must be a 10-year absence, about close to that. Don't get any of their other beers, unfortunately, which I really wish we did. We always seem to only get like the premier beer from a lineup of anything going. So anyway, without further ado, 4.8% ABV, nice streamlined bottle. I think it's still the same size. So you're 355 milliliters, so that's actually a bit larger than the standard Canadian beer bottle size. I'm not quite sure what the standard is for America. I think they're 341 as well, but yeah, so 355, nice thin, attractive bottle, and we'll get right to the review. Okay, we're back with Samuel Adams. As you can see, I already poured it. Very nice orangey amber sort of color, very orangish amber sort of color, very pretty beer. Nice sort of one finger of sort of kind of a sort of a pillowy kind of foamy head, really nice. Not something you usually find on your run-of-the-mill lagers, especially big macro lagers. So we'll go right to the aroma now. Nice, not too bad. Very sort of sweet, floral sort of notes going on, and it sort of gives way to a really distinct sort of caramel kind of smell. It smells more like an ale than it does a lager, let's put it that way. So it's not too bad. So we'll go right to the taste now. Nice bit of bitterness at the end. Kind of more of that caramel coming through. Also sort of a sweetness at the end. Definitely tastes, it's just way heads above contemporary macro lagers. Almost kind of chewy. Sort of nice dry bitterness at the end. Little hints of sort of floral sweetness, maybe grainy sweetness all the way through the drink. It's not watery either. It's got some substantial kind of body to it compared to most lagers. Like, you go drinking this, if you expect like a really watery sort of lager, you're going to be surprised. If you're trying to, if you're thinking of like Budweiser or something like that, it's like night and day almost. That being said, doesn't, I guess this is in sort of the beer advocate says it's a Vienna lager style. So, but comparing it to some European lagers I've had, I tend, and maybe like Anchor Steam, this doesn't quite rate as high as those, but there's not much that beats it. You're not going to lose out if you have Sam Adams. You can do a lot worse. I definitely like this one. So I give it about, I'm not going to go too high. I give it about a 3.5 out of 5, so that's basically about a 7 out of 10 if you were going on a 10-point scale. But Sam Adams Boston Lager, it's definitely excellent. Definitely tell there's more to it than just, you know, standard cheaply made shit beer. This is definitely a beer that's they've taken the time to actually get a recipe down and try to make a quality brew. I just wish there was more Sam Adams products available to me to try, because a lot of them look really good. Like just trying standard lagers from every new company under the moon kind of gets depressing after a while, but at least in this case it's a good lager. So yeah, above average lager, 3.5 out of 5 for Sam Adams Boston Lager. Definitely worth picking up. It's definitely a good drinking beer.